Hello students, once again I welcome you all in this new video where we are going to discuss one more important type of animal tissue that is known as nervous tissue. In the previous video, which was based mainly on the muscular tissue, we have seen about the striated, unstriated and cardiac muscles. That striated muscles are having what striations of actin and myosin contractile proteins, and they are going to work on our will, and hence they are also known as what voluntary muscles, as well as these muscles are going to attach with our bones, and that is why they are also called as what skeletal muscles. In unstriated muscles, we have seen that they are not having any striations of actin and myosin filaments, and that's why they are also known as what smooth muscles, and they are not going to work on our will. That's why they are known as what involuntary muscles, and they are present in our visceral organs like alimentary canal, the stomach, or in small intestine. And the last that we have discussed there in the last video, that was the cardiac muscle, a specific type of muscle that is present only in one organ, that is known as heart, our pumping organ. And these muscles are going to represent some qualities from the striated muscles and some qualities from the unstriated muscles. And these cardiac muscles are never going to become fatigued. They are going to work throughout the life till the person is going to survive. So that was all about from the previous video. Now today we are going to discuss the very important tissue that is known as nervous tissue, and this is the tissue that is responsible for making a system in animal's body that is known as nervous system. And this nervous system, perhaps you are having an idea that plants are basic differences between plants and animal, that plants are lacking nervous system. And this nervous system, when we talk about the humans, it is mainly consist of brain, spinal cord and nerves. So today we are going to discuss this nervous tissue. So one thing that is very sure about this nervous tissue is what these nervous tissues are made up of nervous cells, which are known as neurons. So neurons, or either we can call them nerve cells, these are going to form a tissue that is known as what nervous tissue, and these neurons are nerve cells are the structural and functional unit of nervous system. So when we talk about our nervous system, mainly it is made up of, consists of brain, spinal cord and nerves. So we will see what are the types of neurons on the basis of the functions that they perform in our body. So types of neurons on basis of functions. So when we talk about the functions of neurons, since our brain is going to control and coordinate all the activities of the body organs, so these nerves are going to sense, or we can also call it that receive. They are going to receive the stimuli, and hence when we talk about the stimulus or stimuli, these are any changes that are going to affect any individual's body or individual activity. So these nerves are specific, means they are going to receive any stimulus that is going to present externally out from our body or inside our body. So they are going to receive or sense such type of stimulus or changes, and then receiving stimulus and transferring to the brain or spinal cord. So such type of nerves which are going to receive stimulus means they are having a sensation, means we are talking about the sense organs, that skin is our sense organ, or ears are our sense organ, or eyes are our sense organ. So these nerves are going to receive any change in our surrounding, and hence they are known as what? Sensory neuron. They are known as what? Sensory neuron, and these are attached with our, or these are present with our sense organs. So present with sense organs. Now when we talk about the second type, means when the stimulus is received by these sensory neurons and they are going to transmit the signal to the brain or spinal cord for taking any action against this stimulus. Suppose if we are going to place our hand on, or our hand is going to touch with the hot object, immediately we are going to move our hand from there. So how it is going to happen? Just because of the nervous system and the control and coordination that is coming from our brain or spinal cord. So this, what is happening here, this skin, since it is our sense organ, so it is lined with the sensory neurons. So these sensory neurons are going to receive the external stimulus, means hotness, and immediately it is going to carry the message to the brain, and finally the brain is going to send the message to the effector organs. Means when we talk about the effector organs in our body, so you know that muscles are there for the movement of our body part. So the next type of nerves, if we are talking, so they are doing what? They are carrying, so some of the nerves are going to carry message from brain or spinal cord to body parts. So such type of nerves are known as what? Motor neuron. Why we call them motor neuron? Because they are going to transmit signal from the brain or spinal cord immediately to the effector organs, which are responsible for movement of our body parts. So two types of neurons are there: sensory neurons, which are going to receive any stimulus from the external surrounding or internal surrounding, or perhaps you are still aware that our tongue is also a sense organ. So immediately they are going to receive the signal and providing to our main central nervous system, either brain or spinal cord, and few neurons which are going to coming from brain or spinal cord to the various parts of the body, they are known as what? Motor neuron. One more type of neuron is there which are going to connect both of these sensory and motor neuron. So such type of neurons are known as what? Relay. So what do we mean by relay neurons? Perhaps you are still having a knowledge about the relay race, where 2 or 4 participants are going to run or complete a race, means together. It means what? When we talk about the relay neurons, they are going to connect sensory as well as motor neurons. So total types of neurons की बात करें, so 3 neurons are there: sensory neuron, motor neuron and relay neuron. Now we are going to discuss about the structure of a neuron or nerve cell, what are present there. So when we talk about the neuron structure, we can see clearly 3 distinct part of the neuron, and when we talk about the first part, you can see this region. So this region is known as what? Cyton, or whether we call it what? Cell body. So this region, the main region which is having the nucleus with it, it is known as what? Cyton or cell body. This is what? Nucleus. The cytoplasm of nerve cell or neuron is known as what? Neuroplasm. So the cytoplasm will be called here what? Neuroplasm. And the cell membrane of this nerve cell or neuron is known as what? Neurolemma, as we have seen there in the muscle cell that was known as what? Sarcolemma. In the same way, the membrane of the nerve cell is known as what? Neurolemma. And these, perhaps you can observe some fibrous structures in the nerve cell or cyton body, and these fibrous structures are known as what? Neurofibrils. Neurofibrils. And these are the structures which are going to provide a framework in the cyton, and they are also responsible for the rapid conduction of nerve impulses, whatever messages are going to come in the neurons or nerve cells, so they are going to transfer it rapidly. So neurofibrils are there, and you can see some dot structures here. These are known as what? Nissls granule. Nissls granules. So these Nissl granules are going to synthesize protein in the neuron or cyton main body of the nerve cell, and you are observing here some small hair-like structures arising from the cyton or cell body. So these small hair-like structures are known as what? Dendron. The small structures, dendron, they are performing the function of receiving any message and conducting to the cyton. So the messages are received by these small hair-like structures which are known as dendron, and these small structures are going to carry message to the main body that is known as cyton or cell body. Now, this main region where you are observing a thick, large hair-like structure or cytoplasmic extension, this is known as what? Axon. So this area is known as axon, and perhaps you are observing here some structures are present there, those who are going to cover this axon. So these structures are known as what? Myelin sheath. Actually, these myelin sheath are what? These are some insulated structures which are providing them an ability to conduct the message very rapidly. So myelin sheath is what? Insulated cover on the axon, and the myelin sheath is secreted by some specific cell which are known as Schwann cells. So many of the structures are here. When we talk about the main part of the neuron, we can see three structures. The first one is what? Cyton or cell body, which is having what? Dense cytoplasm and nucleus, central nucleus there. The cytoplasm is known as neuroplasm, and this cytoplasm is having what? Some fibrous structures which are known as neurofibrils. Their function is what? To provide support, and they are also help in the conduction of impulses. When we talk about the Nissls granules, these are the structures in the cytoplasm or neuroplasm. They are providing an ability to synthesize protein. This main structure, this main long and thick branch, that is known as what? Axon, and this axon is maybe, not always, it may be insulated. If it is insulated, they will be considered as what? Insulated neurons, otherwise uninsulated or non-insulated neurons. So these are what? Schwann cells. Now we are going to see here the terminals of the axon, that is known as nerve ending. So these are what? Nerve ending. Nerve ending. So from the cyton, the axon is going to receive the signal and they are going to transfer to the another neuron. So these are what buttons, or we can also call this synaptic buttons. So the junction of two neurons, one neuron is here where it is the nerve ending, and another neuron will start from here. They will be joined together. So the junction of two neurons is known as what? Synapse. So synapse is what? Synapse, junction of two neurons. So here these buttons are having some chemicals in them. They are known as what? Some chemicals which are known as neurotransmitters, and these are the chemical substances which are responsible for the conduction of any message in the form of nerve impulses. So this is all about the nervous tissue. Means nervous tissue is made up of nerve cells which are also called as neurons. These neurons are known as what? Structural and functional unit of nervous system, and perhaps you are also having a knowledge that these are the cells which are longest in our body, and few can reach up to the size of near about 1.5 feet. So this nervous system is made up of brain, spinal cord and nerves. And when we talk about the types of nerves or neurons on the basis of their function, so we are observing three types. The first one is what? Sensory neuron, means these are the neurons which are going to receive any stimulus from the surrounding. And motor neurons, these are the neurons which are sending the messages to other body parts, that is coming from the brain or spinal cord. And relay neurons, these are the neurons present either in brain or spinal cord, and they are going to perform the function of combination of sensory and motor neurons, means they are going to attach both of them. So they are known as relay neurons. When we see the structure of the nerve cell, we can see three parts: cyton or cell body, some small hair-like projections or outcomes from the main body cyton, that is known as what? Dendron, these small hair-like structures, and one long thick branch that is known as axon. So when we talk about the cyton, it is having nucleus, some Nissel's granules, neurofibrils, and the cytoplasm of neuron is known as what? Neuroplasm. This axon is having what? Insulated covering on them, and this insulated covering is providing them the rapid transfer of the impulses. So this myelin sheath is created or produced by some specific cells that are known as Schwann cell. At the end of axon, these are known as what? Nerve ending, and here some swollen structures are present that are known as synaptic buttons, and these buttons are having what? Some chemicals in them which are known as neurotransmitters. And this is what synapse means: when two neurons are going to connect together, so that junction is known as what? Synapse. So that is all from the nervous tissue, and one more specific tissue of animal tissue that is left, and we will see in the next video, that is connective tissue. So till then we are going to meet in the next video to study the connective tissue in animals. Take care of yourself, be safe, and keep studying.